What's up, guys? Hey, this shootout did deliver. There's a lot of different storylines. Deegan put himself up against it to win this title. It's going to take a little bit of luck. Deegan-Vialle didn't win, but this dude's for real. The whole whoops thing, it doesn't matter. Tom can win anywhere. I got some injury updates. This sucks. And Nashville was very hard on the 250 riders as well. Thank you guys for subscribing. It helps the channel's algorithm, and for some reason, people are getting unsubscribed without them doing it. So just double check, make sure you're still subscribed. And if you're not, subscribe. I appreciate it. So let's get into Nashville 250 East-West shootout.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Let's start with Hayden Deegan, the Danger Boy. This guy is exciting to watch. He's all over the place, and they said on the broadcast he's doing something different. He's working with Christian Craig, trying to become smooth, and Ricky said it was a bad idea. And while I almost never agree with Ricky, because I think he's just an idiot, he knows what he's talking about here. You don't change your entire style mid-season. This is something to work on. Yeah, I'm not saying he can't improve that, and that's not something he should improve. I'm saying wait until the off-season to add to your toolbox. Don't do it mid-season. It messes with your confidence. It's almost like making too many bike changes. You get lost. You don't know what's good or what's bad. And then while you're doing it mid-season, sometimes when you make these changes, you go slower before you get faster. And then your confidence goes away, and it really messes with your head. I don't think this is a good idea. And I would tell Christian Craig, hey, you're right, but let's wait right now. Just let Hayden do his thing, race his ass off. Don't have him second guessing his technique. His technique was just fine last year when he won the Super Motocross Championship. The style he has will work good on the 250. The only time he's going to have to change to a little bit more smooth style is when he goes to that 450. So this is something I would save for the off season. Change in the off season. That's when a lot of these different guys, like Adam Cincerillo did this a few years ago. You know, he said he needed to work on his roll speed. This is before the year when he won the outdoor 250 title, and it really worked, but he waited to the off season to add to his skill set, and that's what I think Hayden needs. And I'm really liking the kind of rivalry between Deegan and Deegan-Vialle, America versus France. And yes, I know Deegan's kind of manufacturing it because Vialle just seems like a really nice guy, and I don't think he wants a rivalry, but I think Hayden is one of those guys who really likes to dislike his competition. That's how he gains motivation, by, you know, putting up their poster and like really going at him. That's who Hayden Deegan is, and I think he's manufacturing a little bit of a rivalry. But hey, I love it. I think it's awesome when guys don't like each other. It's when I watch the UFC and I see guys like hug before the round, it kind of annoys me. And that's the same how it is when I see guys high-fiving right after the, like, I don't mind after the race, but let's not have a love fest. I want dudes out there who want to win, and it helps the storyline if they genuinely dislike each other. I don't think Tom dislikes anyone right now, but Hayden clearly is trying to pick a fight with him. If you want to improve your fitness with science, go to CompleteRacingSolutions.com. Coach Rob, he's measuring sweat rate, recovery time. He does so much of this stuff, but he's got the energy drink, Energy Fuel, where they actually formulate it based on your sweat rate. I know, crazy, but it's highest level of fitness using science. So go to Complete Racing Solutions. Let Coach Rob level you up. Epic Garage Designs. Make your garage look like a complete Barrett Jackson showroom. And they've partnered with the Las Vegas Golden Knights and A1 Garage. They're giving away a complete garage makeover. If you live in Las Vegas, go to A1 Garage's Instagram and enter. If you don't, that's your fault. You might be missing out on just a garage that will just be your dream garage. Now to the disastrous weekend for Pro Circuit. And it all starts with McAdoo. And I did a video last week about how tough he is. I didn't know he was racing with a cracked leg. I guess he announced it, but nobody really talked about it. But that, to me, blows me away. His pain tolerance is scary. But it's also scary for his competitors because he doesn't know when to say when. Ask Chris Bloss and all the guys. He has taken out more riders because of his toughness than anyone I could ever think of in this sport. He is willing to risk his life no matter what. Problem is he puts other people at risk at the same time. While I commend him for being maybe the toughest racer that I've ever seen, I can't think of anyone, this is tough amongst tough. Like, he is next level pain tolerance. Like, I don't think there's anything he couldn't ride through, but sometimes his body just, he's not strong enough to hold on. He's shooting left, he's shooting right, and he's taking people out. And after that practice incident with Logan Leitzel, I'll get into that in a second, he didn't have enough strength in his arm, and through that first rhythm, he jumps to the left and just cleans out his teammate and point leader Levi Kitchen. And that just, I mean, oh, talk about worst case scenario for the green bikes. The injured guy takes out the healthy guy. Now they're both injured. Looks like Levi Kitchen's dealing some broken ribs. Now he's behind the 8-ball. Really, Pro Circuits Day went from leading both championships, looking great, to, oh no. Let's talk about the incident with Logan Leitzel in qualifying practice. So McAdoo's on they call it a roll lap, where you just kind of cruise around, just like a Sunday, like I usually ride the track. But he wasn't aware that Logan Leitzel, and Logan wasn't coming like some of these faster guys that are on a hot lap. So maybe Cameron wasn't aware that Logan was intently trying to get a time. Because you got to remember, Logan's battling to get in that top 20. Because making the top 20 in an East-West shootout, that's essentially the same as making a main event. So he has to ramp up his intensity and straight go for it. And McAdoo didn't recognize this. And I blame McAdoo. You know, Logan's racing the track. So by being the guy on the hot lap, you deserve the right of way. Even though if it was any other situation, I would say, yeah, that was probably Logan's fault. But since McAdoo was lollygagging and Leitzel was on a heater, what's he supposed to do? Check up, ruin his lap? I'm sorry, but if you're going to go in a roll lap, you need to be aware and get the hell out of everyone's way. And if you watch where Cameron comes out of that turn, he cuts back in. Are you serious? What's Logan supposed to do? Cameron was riding the track like he was the only one out there and just kind of not paying attention. I blame Cameron, but it's a shitty situation for both of them. RJ Hampshire, after spending 10 years in the 250 class, which I would love to see him in the 450 class, but he keeps making money and winning races, so I guess he'll be maybe a 250 career guy. Although, if he wins this championship, he's only got 1 year to defend, and then he's got to go 450. And I would like to see him race. I think guys can race 10, 15, 20 years nowadays if they stay healthy. That's the big key, if. Like Adam Cincerillo, his arm, you know, that will take you out early. RJ got his ass handed to him by Levi in Seattle and St. Louis, and that takes a certain amount of character to come back and keep fighting. And now he found that extra intensity. He said that he kind of lost his focus or lost his intensity when they had that big long break for the West. Guess what? It's back. And Levi's going to have to fight through broken ribs to beat a healthy and on point RJ. Woo! But hey, don't forget, guys, the final, East-West Showdown, shootout, whatever you want to call it. I like shootout, but they say showdown enough that accidentally, sometimes I say showdown just out of accident. Guys, if you need goggles, glasses, and really cool shirts, head over to ridestrap.com. And if you're at the Paula race, come by and see us. We'll be camping out. Myself, Chris, and the Strapped crew. We're going to be watching Paula, hanging out, enjoying some good old American fun. If you ship anything, use Precision Transport. It's pretransport.com. The Madden family runs this business, and they are just high-quality people. They believe in customer service, reasonable pricing, and they will help you out. If you're shipping using a truck, support a company that supports the moto industry. Precision Transport, pretransport.com. A guy I want to give a little love to is Gage Linville. Gage Linville has leveled up. This is a kid that I kind of see his name in amateurs. I don't know a ton about him, but the way he fought these top guys and got into the main event of an East-West shootout, that's pretty good. Hey, I will commend him. And he's somebody I want to watch moving forward, because I really think once these guys get that belief in themselves and that confidence, they can do it more often. So that's a guy I want to keep an eye on. One of my favorite guys, Garrett Marchbanks, had a scary moment in that first heat where they had to red flag it. He was crossed up, coming off the start into the rim section. It's crazy. Guys go left, guys go right, and he had a bad crash. Looked to me like he was KO'd. I don't know. The report is broken thumb, but usually just for a broken thumb, they don't red flag. And I'm guessing he probably took a head injury. I hope Marchbanks is able to come back for outdoors on the 450. I would say, I don't know, just rest up. Sometimes when you get a head injury, and I'm speculating when I say head injury, that you can, if you break a thumb or something, it forces you to take the time to let your brain actually heal. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. And Levi Kitchen gets a week off while they go to Philly, and it's an East round. He gets 1 week off, but if his ribs are broken, 1 week is not going to heal them. And man, those of you guys that have broke ribs, it is not fun. You can't sleep, you can't breathe. Last thing you want to do is have somebody make you laugh. That's the most painful thing in the world. Can he gut it out? But he's gonna have to gut it out and take on a on-point RJ Hampshire in Denver. Whew, I don't know. He's up against it, but this is what stories are made of. This is how champions become champions. They overcome stuff like this. Can Levi do it? I don't know. And I think McAdoo is gonna sit out for the season. At least the Supercross season for sure. That shoulder looks really bad, and he can't even hang on to the bike. He's swerving left, swerving right. With someone like McAdoo, who's so tough, in road racing, if a guy has an injury or like a collarbone break or something, they make him do push-ups or do some physical tests to make sure he's not a danger to other riders. Unfortunately, McAdoo is so tough and willing to ride through anything. They have to run him through some tests in order to protect his competitors, because McAdoo will put himself through anything. This guy has no regard for his own safety, his own pain. He's literally a beast. So this is when people around him have to say, stop, you're done, heal up. And I hope they make him do some push-ups, and if he does get back on the track, make sure he's healthy enough that he's not gonna hurt anyone else. But I love McAdoo, I love his toughness, but you gotta protect him from himself in this situation. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate everything, and I'm gonna try and get Logan Leitzel. Ironically, I was talking to Logan last week, and we're trying to get on before Nashville, but I'll get him on hopefully this week, talk about what he's got going on, how you can support him as a privateer, and I'd like to know his thoughts on the situation with McAdoo. You heard mine, but let's hear it from Logan and see what he says. I know he feels bad about it because nobody wants to do that, especially to the point leader, and Logan's a nice guy, so I'm sure he feels awful about it, but it wasn't his fault in my opinion. I will catch you later. If you haven't checked out the MMA channel, please do. It's doing really well, and I'm on to some big stuff over there.